If there is any secret to this life I live, this is it. This is it. The sound of what cannot be seen sings within everything that can. And there is nothing more to it than that. Nothing more to it than that. If there is any secret to this life I live, this is it. This is it. The sound of what cannot be seen sings within everything that can. And there is nothing more to it than that. Nothing more to it than that. If there is any secret to this life I live, this is it. This is it. The sound of what cannot be seen sings within everything that can. And there is nothing more to it than that. There is nothing more to it than that. And there is nothing more to it than that. There is nothing more to it. Nothing more. Nothing more. Nothing more. Nothing more.
Yanana hine mato. Yanana yumanai. Yanana shevet achim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Yanana hine mato. Yanana yumanai. Yanana shevet achim. Shevet achim hine matov. Yananai umanai. Yananai shevet achim. shevet achim gam yachad. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing Hine Matov.
Darkness, we are knocking, 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 knocking. Holes in the darkness, we are knocking, knocking. Little boy looking out his window on a winter night, watching close the lamp lighter, lighting flames into the sky. One after one after one, flames shooting so high, melting the darkness, knocking holes in the sky. We are knocking, knocking, holes in the darkness. We are knocking, 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 holes in the darkness. We are knocking, knocking. There was a farmer who wouldn't eat. There was a woman who wouldn't take her seat. There was a king who had a dream about knocking holes in the darkness. One gunshot can't stop the tidal wave of dreams. A flood of tears, 10,000 years tearing at the seams. We are knocking, knocking holes in the darkness. A legacy of light, the hope that holds us through the night. We are knocking, knocking holes in the darkness. On a ladder of faith, it's a matter of when. We're knocking holes in the darkness of
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Knocking Holes in the Darkness with Rick Recht. Before that, we heard Noah Aronson, and before that, Dan Nichols. You can hear all of them on Jewish Rock Radio. If you like this kind of way to access Jewish themes and Jewish ideas, I urge you to check it out. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to have you with us. And one of the things we are trying to do a better job of on Shabbat is to know when there are new people who are tuning in and joining us. So if you're with us on Facebook and it is, you're not somebody who's a regular in our community, please say hello and introduce yourself. You can reach out to Judy Rose, who's also there on the Facebook page, and she will reach out to you. That way we can get to know you better, and we'd love to be able to do that. So again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're so thrilled that you are with us. We're going to begin our service on page 10. with Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Meshochav decha, El ritzonecha, Meshochav decha, Ayala el ritzonecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo ayal ishtachavei ayalai yalalalai el mul hadarecha Yedid nefesh av harachaman Yedid nefesh av harachaman Mishochav decha El ritzonecha Mishochav decha Yalalalai El ritzonecha Lechu neranan al Adonai, naria letzori sheinu, nikadma fana betoda, bezmirod naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, huneranena l'Adonai. Naria letzori shenu, nikadma fana betoda. Naria letzori shenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena bizmirot naria lo.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We take a moment to reflect on the week that has passed, to go back to last Shabbat and spend a moment on each day, on its challenges and on its blessings. And then we'll come back together and join in L'Chadodi. If you have a book at home, it's pages 20 and 21. Nishima Aruka. A deep breath. Everything that has been this week, and we are present in the moment of Shabbat. We'll join in singing Lachadodi. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, I encourage you to turn toward the doorway of your home to welcome the Shabbat presence into your home and into your heart.
La 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 likradodi. La 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 likrad kala. La 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 penei Shabbat nikaber. Ya la 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 lechadodi. La 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 likrat kala. La 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 penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamo v'zacho b'dibur echad yishme'anu el hamyuchan Adonai echad u'shmo echad shemu tiferet velitchila ya elai la 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 lechadodi la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 penei Shabbat nikabela likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki mekor el hamyuchan Adonai meroch mikedem Nissuchan Sof ma'aseh b'maksheva techila Ya elai ya la 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 lechadodi Ya la 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 likrat kala Ya la 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 penei Shabbat nikabela Itoreri Kiva orech Kumiori Uri Shiraberi Kevod Adonai Alayich nigla Ya la 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 lechadodi Ya la 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 likrat kala Ya la la penei Shabbat nikabela Boi v'shalom Ateret pala Gam b'simcha uv'sohola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Ya elai Ya la 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 lechadodi Ya la 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 likrat kala Ya la 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 penei Shabbat nikabela
continue with Chatzi Kaddish. For those who have books at home, we're on page 26.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'almad yifrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chai echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chayei dechol bet Yisrael Bagala, bagala U'vizman kari ve'imeru Amen Yehei shemei Rabbah mivara Lalamul almei almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach ve'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha berichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata b'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma Ve'meru Amen.
We rise in body or in spirit for Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Am I awake and am I aware? Are you listening, God, to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do I really understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yada dai 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 dai
Page 30, last three lines in the Hebrew.
El chai v'kayam Tamid limloch aleinu le'olam va'en Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu V'ruk Shemo.
Amoriv Aravi.
Amen. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Atasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael.
We connect ourselves to the Holy One and to the unity of our universe, Ma Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vahen. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vahen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta, page 36.
It's not happening on the screen for
Oh,
me.
it was working so well.
1 second, otherwise I will continue. And I think I can share as well. But
All right, doesn't look like it's sharing yet, so
do you want me? I lost your audio. Do you want me to back up and share from my end?
if you can do it for a couple of minutes, that would be great. And I'll restart the procedure.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Is it coming through or no?
Yes, I see Micha Mocha.
Good, there we go. We continue with Micha Mocha, page 40. Cantor, you're muted. Cantor, you're muted.
How did I get muted? Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever hear, redemption song. O mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot o sefele, Nora tehilot o sefele. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever hear, redemption song. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeili anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'en, Adonai imloch le'olam va'en. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever hear, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo meyad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai gal Israel. And just a
Yes.
note, Rabbi, I don't think, there you are. I wasn't hearing you before.
We ask God to watch over us and to protect us, to let us lie down with a sense of wholeness and rise up with a sense of purpose. We join in Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ushmot tzatenu uboenu. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ushmot tzatenu uboenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Baruch atah Adonai
הפורץ סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
We give thanks for Shabbat, to the rhythm it gives to our lives, to the opportunities it gives us to connect with ourselves, with our community, and with the Holy One. Join in singing Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, מסור את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, מסור את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, מסור את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, מסור את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We turn to our Amidah. Again, we rise in body or in spirit. We create for ourselves a holy space and join in singing the introductory words, asking that our mouths speak words of praise and of blessing. Then we'll sing the first three blessings together, have some time for private reflection, and then we'll have a musical contribution from Dr. Randy Polivoy.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi hagi tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips so my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo V'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Umorid hagashem. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayer hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato l'shenei afar. Micha mocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memid umchayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'neman atalech hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch hu Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh. Please take a few moments for the text of your own heart. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hashkivenu is a prayer that, as you just heard just a few moments ago, a prayer imploring God to spread out a tabernacle of peace over all of us. And there are a number of Hashkivenus that Cantor Paul himself and Paul and I together have done over the years. Everything from a camp-like settings to more lyrical flowing versions. Now, this particular Hashkiveno that I'm going to be playing is by the composer Max Helfman. And it was introduced to me, believe it or not, by the TBI choir back a few years ago when I first started here. And since we performed it particularly in a choral setting, I'm going to attempt to approximate it on the keyboard on the second half of the song. Helfman's dates are 1901 to 1963. So obviously he was a force during the early part of the 20th century. Very colorful, somewhat provocative Jewish conductor, composer, and activist. Some of you may be familiar with his Shema Kolenu, which is a tradition that we, Paul and I, do every year for a Kol Nidre service for the high holidays. At least we have been doing it before the pandemic. And Helfman wasn't extremely religious in the traditional sense, but his compositions convey a tremendous sense of spiritual power and also reflect the many nuances that are present in the texts of the prayers. He has certainly made an enduring impact on synagogue music for our time. So this is Max Helfman's Hashkivenu.
Thank you, Dr. Polovoy. Beautiful.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Once again, Shabbat shalom, everyone. So glad to be with you. I hope you've been enjoying this evening service as much as I have. I've been enjoying it. I was not with you last Shabbat for the first time in a very, very long time. I was actually supervising a student at her student pulpit through the Hebrew Union College, although, of course, it was a virtual student pulpit this year. There was no travel involved, but I was with her last Shabbat with her congregation in Colorado. And well, I'm happy to be back with all of you on this Shabbat. It's hard to believe that we've been living with the coronavirus pandemic for a full year. COVID-19 first hit our community just after Purim last year. And 12 months later, our lives have been transformed in every conceivable way. Yet now at least we can begin to glimpse the coming end of the pandemic, thanks to the COVID vaccines. It's appropriate that the beginning of this pandemic and the glimpse of its end, and we're just at a glimpse, we still have quite a ways to go, are both framed by the festival of Purim. The name of the holiday means lots, like the kind of lots that you draw, numbered lots. Haman draws lots to determine on which day his decree will order the Persians to massacre the Jews. Lots depend purely on chance. So too, almost every significant turning point in the story of Esther occurs by happenstance. One lesson of the book of Esther is that our lives are often turned upside down in ways we cannot expect. One thing, however, is not a matter of luck. We get to choose how we respond to the events in our lives. When Esther is hesitant to go to the king, Mordecai tells her, "Who knows whether it is for just a moment like this that you arose to power?" When we face challenges, we can respond in one of two ways. We can respond with compassion and courage and wisdom, seeking the welfare of all, or we can abdicate responsibility, allowing the chance nature of the moment to serve as our rationalization for inaction. Esther rises to the moment, and because she does, our people were saved. So too it is for us. We are all fatigued by a year of COVID precautions. We're worn down, feel like we're no longer in control of our lives. But in fact, we do have some control. We do get to choose how we respond. I am so proud of our congregation for its choices. Over the past year, we have responded to the pandemic with grace and compassion, with faith and with courage. We have reached out to each other, and collectively, we have reached upward to the Holy One. This pandemic has taken a terrible toll on us, but we will come through this experience as a community, stronger, wiser, more connected than ever before. At the end of the Purim story, we read that the Jews went from sorrow to gladness, from mourning to a good day. So may it be for us that we see an end to this pandemic once and for all, that our days are filled once again with, as the book of Esther says, and as we sing as part of Havdalah each Saturday evening, with light and with joy and with all that is precious. Haita ora v'simcha v'sason ken tihyeh lanu. May that be what we experience, light, joy, and all that is precious in the days to come. Shabbat shalom. We're going to turn now to our Misha Berach, to our prayer for healing. Of course, there are so many in our lives in our community in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit. So we hold them in our hearts and minds. And of course, I'll read those on our communal list when we get there in just a moment. As we hold all of them in our hearts.
O Holy One, who blessed our mothers, who blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Alehem, Lehaksikam Urapeotam, Veishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Bela Pasternak, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Alicia Goldfarb, Paula Steinbach, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Doug Austin, Stephanie Holland, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Brewer, Charity Razade, Ed Ansel, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Lori Snyder, Brad Holland, Isley Holland, Mike Klein, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Henry Gerard, Kirby Perkins, Brenda Fang Gerard, Serena Postal, Nancy Brewster, Bobby Kay, Dan Ione, Bonnie Stead, Jay Edelberg, Liz Fields, Jerry Binstock, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Aba Vespris, Robin Goichenberg, Marilyn Lubarski, Joey Gant, Joe Kummerman, Rabbi Janet Bieber, Agnes Magaha, Sharon Stein, Char Alpert, Stan Stein, Carol Sage, Flo Cohen, Ira Quatcher, Simon Saul, Patricia Kramer, and all we hold in our heart.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Alehem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
I'd like to invite Gary Gilbert to join us here and to share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Rabbi Kupitz and Kenner Bush for leading us in Tefillah this evening. And thank you to Randy Polovoi for your always thoughtful and inspiring music. Just a few quick announcements about events that are happening in our community and at our congregation. So please join the Adult Jewish Learning Committee this Wednesday night for the final installment in the series, Tammy's Guided Tour of the Tanakh, with our very own Professor Tammy Schneider. The session begins at 7:15 p.m. and Zoom information is available in the weekly bulletin or by calling the Temple office. That night, Professor Schneider will offer her thoughts on the Book of Esther. And after you hear from her, please join us the following evening, this coming Thursday, as we celebrate the festival of Purim, as the rabbi has already mentioned. Our Megillah reading and the virtual costume parade begins at 7 p.m. on, as always, on Zoom. And if it is Purim, then of course, Passover cannot be far behind. Please join Rabbi and Cantor for their insights and options for a more meaningful Passover. This wonderfully informative session will take place on Tuesdays, March 16th and 23rd, beginning at 7:15, also via Zoom. I think that does it. So stay well, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Gary. Shabbat Shalom to you. Cantor Paul, do you have anything? Do you want to say anything about pickup, just to let people?
Sure. Before I do that, though, I do want to give Professor Dr. Gilbert a little bit of a plug. Gary has a new class series on immigration. Is immigration to Israel, not necessarily the aliyah that people may be considering in 2021, but how did Israel come to be filled once again with practicers of Judaism? That class starts, I believe, on March 31st. So right it's kind of in the middle of Passover there. So join Gary on the usual Zoom channels for what I think I know will be a very interesting, informative, and just another great opportunity to study with these wonderful scholars like Professor Gilbert and Professor Schneider, who are members of our congregation and who give so freely of their skills and their expertise in these areas. So I am happy to report that I've returned safely from the San Fernando Valley earlier today with over 50 pounds of Hamantashen, based on the wonderful response we had to our offering to pick them up from the Continental Kosher Bakery. Wonderful, wonderful folks. They wanted me to especially share a Chag Purim Sameach from their community in Glendale. They're all members of Temple Sinai in Glendale. So they're Chaverim to our Federation territory here. So that's really great. So if you did order, your pickups will be ready as you've requested or as have been scheduled. I want to give a special shout out to Jay Eisenberg for his help in handling some of the logistics, and whether I'm available or whether I'm there personally to socially distantly provide you with your Hamantash. Please know that I'm there in spirit, and it was really great to see all of the participation. And speaking of Federation, just want to mention that in our weekly TBI Temple update, there is a link to a survey that the Federation is conducting on behalf of myself and Rabbi and our Board of Trustees. I want to encourage you to check that out and to please access it and fill it out if you feel that that's something you want to do. That's it. Thank you, Rabbi.
Sure. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to move now to Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 282, and we rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Rabbi, you're muted.
Thank you, Cantor. As we turn to Kaddish, our hearts turn to all of those who have been dear in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. As a community, we remember the recent deaths of Helen Pruitt, mother of Ed Pruitt, Lou Charloff, father of Ruth Charloff, Bruce Arthur Pasternak, stepfather of Natalie Horwitz. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Leah Brotman, Joseph Lambert, Susan Maloney, Ann Richmond, Beatrice Ross, Molly Schimmel, Herbert Stone, Anna Tarlow, Patricia Borer, Thomas Epstein, Susan Frankel, Richard Friedman, Ludwig Greenthal, Lillian Hyman, Eliza Kojman, Mary Langsam, Irving D. Ryan, Lillian Scharf, Margaret Trantham, Fred Warshaw, Philip Fenning, Linda Gordon, Rita Jacoby, David Miller, Henry Recken, Harold Schilling, Ida Silks, David Zogat, Sylvia Zuckerman, Polly Cardona, Millie Fisher, Bertha Flamutz, Till Goldberg, Joseph Mendelson, Samuel Rosenblum, Brenda Rosenfeld, Morris Sopkin, Sarah Horowitz, Nematola Lazarian, Isidore Weinberg, Beatrice S. Fish, Rose Lily Gingold, Reuven Kaplan, Chaim Kaufman, Abe Kellner, Harold Morrison, Jill Norden, Felix Aaron Bill Norden, Abba Raisin, Gedalia Ross, Shirley Roth, Henry Siegel, Mary Schultz-Weitz, Betty Wagman, Belle C. Wilk, Samuel Deutsch, Marcia Gilbert, Arnold Kaufman, Martin Ravitch, Gustav Roth, Albert Rubens, Kitty Schmerling, and Harry Wadinsky. We add to those all of those who are in our hearts, and we join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei decho Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalo v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'le'el maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudisha brichu.
Richu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Ta'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. We'll close our service with Biyado, and then please stick around for Kiddush and Motzi.
Be'ato of Kidduchi, Ve'rishan ve'a'ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Be'ado of Kidduchi, Ve'rishan ve'a'ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li
You can grab yourself a kos kiddush, a cup of juice or wine if you've got one there, and we will join in our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishim. Ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
L'chaim. Grab a piece of challah. We'll join in our blessing. If you don't have a piece of challah, you can reach out and touch the one on the screen. Here we go.
So we reach out and touch this one direct from Continental Bakery.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. So happy that you've been with us and to be with you. Hope to see you all very soon. Lehitraot.
Lehitraot. It's pretzel bread.